What's up, guys? This is Akuma here, coming at you with a buddy fight deck profile of my Armorknights. This is by far my favorite buddy fight deck out right now. It's very aggressive and can kill your opponent very fast if they don't have any shields. The buddy is Armorknight Kari. When she's called, you can put a ace from your hand into the soul of your weapon. And the aces have really strong effects when they're in your soul. They either give it penetrate, give it crits, or let you nullify attacks. Yeah. For size zeros, I play 2 Tiger. Most people opt to play Eagle instead, which is a 4/1/1. I like Tiger better just because it has 2 crit, and it makes it easier to kill with someone with Tiger than it would be Eagle. And while Eagle, yes, is a field clear, I don't feel the need that field clears are necessary when I have weapons with penetrate and lots of crits. So I'd rather just instantly deal lots of 2 damage instead of clearing a monster. And then for the buddy, she is only 2/2/2. Look, because she has 2 crit, it makes her really good for just plain beating and attacking the opponent. 3 Armorknight Ogres. Ogre is just a 5/2/3 beat stick that also has 2 crit. The 5k attack allows him to get rid of anything that's important to my opponent, like Tsuku, Tetsuya, all the Thunder Knights that are the size 1 Thunder Knights. I think Drum. And he has 2 crits, so he makes it easier to kill. Then we have 2 Asmodais. I'm kind of iffy about Asmodai. Yes, he lets me kill the left and right, but paying a gauge and sacking off a Armorknight is a pretty hefty cost for this deck. This deck doesn't really plus at all. So it's okay for those grind games, but other than that, it's kind of meh for this deck. It's great in like controlled variations of this deck, but for this one, it's kind of just okay card. Then we have 2 Gargoyle Aces. Gargoyle Aces is, well, it's in the soul of your weapon. Well, you have to have 5 life or less, and then you can put it from the field into the soul of your weapon. And then when your opponent attacks, counter, and you can put it from the soul of your weapon to the drop zone, and you can nullify any attack. Whether it be weapon, monster, anything like that. Then for the size 2s, we have 4 Armorknight Aces. A lot of people use this as their buddy. Like my buddy Rare. But I don't like him as the buddy. He is a 6/3/6. It only costs 1 gauge, but I will rarely call him. He will most of the time be in my soul if I can help it. So, while he's in the soul of your weapon, it gets 2 crit, and then you can pay 3 gauge, and your weapon will get an extra 3 crit. This card is great for allowing you to OTK, kill your opponent even faster, and then penetrating them with a Hysteric Spear for like 8 damage is just ridiculous. We have 2 Chimera. Chimera dodges a lot of monster removal that's out right now, like the Wizard, Power Ray Maximum, or Maximilian, Pillar of Fire, things of that nature. And he's also a 6, so he allows for field clearing, and he's also 2 crit. The 6k allows you to kill like Thunder Knight's Halberd and all the walls that are really prevalent right now. And then if they try to wall up, I also have Medusa, which will just penetrate for 2. And if I have Hysteric Spear on the field, and it's Dragon World or anything that doesn't have a nullify, or if they don't have a nullify in hand at all, they're going to take lots of damage from a penetrate attack and lose their monster in the center. And for size 3s, I play 3 Demon. I love Demon. He has double attack, and he's a 938. It allows you to kill very fast. It's also a field clear if you need to, and it's also a wall if you have to. It can do anything you want it to, and your opponent will want it off the field as fast as possible. For the weapons, I play 3 Explosive Axe. I'm trying to get a 4th, but I don't have it yet. It's a 6-3 that costs 1 gauge, which is pretty ridiculous if you ask me. It's 6-3. Not only can it clear with a 6k attack, but also has 3 crit, and the only downside is you cannot call monsters to the center, which isn't really a downside since you have a weapon equipped. Then we have 4 Hysteric Spears. It's a 5-2 with Penetrate that costs 2 gauge. It's really good against the defensive decks like Katana World, Magic World, and Seeger, of course. Any deck that likes to just wall up and leave a giant monster in the center, Hysteric Spear will just make them have a really bad day. For impacts, a lot of people don't like this card. I play 2 Drill Bunker. Drill Bunker is, well, you pay 2 gauge during your final phase, and your weapon will get, well, you have to do it if you do not have a monster in your center, which, I mean, you won't have a monster in the center because you're going to be attacking with a weapon either way. And for this turn, your weapon will get plus 4,000 power, 2 crits, and penetrate, and then you attack with your weapon. It does not stand your weapon, so you cannot attack with it during the battle phase, but because it gets 2 crit and penetrate, this thing can hit for 10 crit by itself just because of Drill Bunker, and you can end a game with just Drill Bunker. Especially if they try to like move a monster to the center thinking that they'll live because they don't have any shields, so they're like, I'll just use my monster to soak up the attacks. Drill Bunker will just penetrate them for lots of damage, and then they can't really do anything because they don't have any nullifies. And then for spells, for the regular nullifies, if you don't have a monster in the center, you nullify an attack. Great for keeping your monsters alive. I mean, it's great for keeping you alive, but let's be honest here. You don't really care about your life. As long as they can't kill you that turn, you just protect your monsters. I run 3 Dimensional Demon Slay Slash. You may only cast this card when you do not have a monster in the center, and you gauge 1, and then you take one of your opponent's gauge away. I like this card more because I will usually only end up needing 1 or 2 extra gauge to actually pull off like a Drill Bunker or summon a demon. And this will allow me to also take away a gauge from my opponent, which will reduce their options for counters and the like. And then 3 Demon Break Slash. Great for counter monster removal for size 1s. It's not a great card, but it does allow you to keep your monsters alive and not take as much damage than you have to. It does kill Katana Worlds like Shiden and all the other size 1s that are big threats that you need to get rid of. You can only cast it when you don't have a monster in the center and when a monster's attacking. So it's not a card you can use whenever you want, but it's still a pretty good card. Then I run 2 Survival Chances, a great clutch card. It allows you to just replenish your hand and then call more monsters to the field, hoping to end them that turn. I run 2 Invigorating Breaths. They allow me to go from almost dead to back into the game where they actually have to call more monsters and activate more cards to actually kill me than they would need to before. It's when you have no monster in the center, if you have a monster equipped, or a weapon equipped, you can gain 4 life. And then for every other copy of Invigorating Breath in your drop zone, the life gain is reduced by 1. So when you activate the first one, you'll gain 4. But if you activate the second one, that same duel, you'll only gain 3. Which is still pretty good. And then I run 2 Armor Reuse. I mean, I don't have the other 2, but I still think I would only run this at 2. It's a great card, but I don't think it's good enough to replace any of the other spells right now. And then, for the last spell of the deck, I play Double Guillotine. Double Guillotine allows me to pay a gauge when my opponent monster attacks me, the player, directly. I pay a gauge, and I destroy their weapon. And then if I have a weapon equipped, we play Rock, Paper, Scissors. If I win, they take damage equal to my weapon's critical. That can be anything between 3 and 7. You can kill them just off of this card by playing a game of Rock, Paper, Scissors. It's also great for killing Glory Seekers and the like. So, let me know how you like my deck. This isn't the final version. I'm still playing around and testing with it. If you have any comments and ideas, I will be happy to look at them and consider them adding them. So, yep, I'll see you and talk to you guys later. Bye.